Hello, everyone. Welcome to Angel Healing House Radio. My name is Candy Hough. Through my business, Angel Healing House, which can be found at angelhealinghouse.com. I'm a writer and an author, an international radio host, a Reiki master teacher, and an angel practitioner. My inspirational books entitled Angels of Faith and One True Home Behind the Veil of Forgetfulness, and my autobiography, I Am an Angelic Walk-In, are based on my recollections of our life in spirit, and they help us to remember our divine, eternal natures. Through Angel Healing House, I help people to let go of sadness, anger, bitterness, resentment, and regret that has kept them locked in the prison of the past, and I help them to let go of worry, stress, and control, which has kept them focused on an imagined future. And once they are no longer living in the past or the future, they can start to live in the present moment, which is the only place that they can experience synchronicities, miracles, and magic. As an angel practitioner, I help people to see their lives from a higher perspective with the help of an extraordinary group of angels who call themselves the Posse of Angels. Just like my angelic family, the Posse of Angels, I'm very excited to take some of your calls for that free angel advice. You can call into the show on 1-800-930-2819. But before we get to those callers, welcome everyone to the first Angel Healing House radio program of this brand new year. And now that the streamers or the confetti and the champagne bottles have all been recycled, many may have arrived at the beginning of 2020 feeling a little bit flat, with a sense of frustration, maybe even a little bit of disappointment. What is increasing this frustration in many people is that what they may have done up until now, and maybe you have felt this throughout 2019, is it's no longer working for you. No matter how much we push and force an outcome, something is simply not happening. Okay, perhaps your clients have all dried up. Business or something you were doing before, perhaps what you were doing before is not bringing in the finances that you need. And, if you are completely honest with yourself, what you were doing before, whatever you were doing before, was no longer hitting your hot buttons, as they say. You probably could have been doing it in your sleep, and your heart is longing for a fresh start, to do something that excites your passion and creativity once again. And the added frustration is you just may not know what that is. Well, my angelic family and I, the Posse of Angels, wishes for all of us to know that so many of us are now in the in-between times. We're no longer connected to the past. Much of what we did before, that's past its use-by date, and we feel like our new beginnings have not manifested yet. Please do not be despondent, but instead embrace the in-between. Remain fully in the now, for that is where the miracles happen. What we can do is we can thank the past for all the lessons it presented to us. Yes, even for the challenges, because whether we know it or not, those were the most important lessons. And let go. Let go of being anxious and apprehensive as to what this new beginning will look like. Allow yourself to be still. Allow yourself to know that this seemingly quiet time is not really quiet at all, as spirit is joyfully and excitedly co-creating with you for what comes next. Although I've got to tell you, many of us, even the most gifted clairvoyants and psychics, can't figure it out. Know that the new will appear for you exactly when it is meant to. But please do take this time to relax into a state of release and balance. In this way, you will alchemically turn your anxiety into trust and faith in the knowledge that all is not only good and in the highest order, but it is perfection, because what is coming next is divinely ordered just for you. If you've been feeling like this, then 2020 energies will bring a very different year, for it will be revealing new information, opportunities, and connections for all of us to move easily toward that which we love doing. This will only happen if we let go of the expectation and attachment as to what our life, there's that word, should look like. And so that we can be open to receive and dance with the divine for the highest expression and the expansion of our soul. That is what 2020 is all about. And really, that is ultimately why we signed on for this human ride. You may not know it, but that is what we've been working towards these last 2 decades to get to this point in time. Now, the Posse of Angels is saying that 2020, if each and every one allow it to be, will be the human roller coaster ride of our lives. But this will only happen if we allow ourselves to serve and to be led for our highest good. And while many have been asking for a long time on the signs on how to proceed, it is we, the conscious collective, who were not ready to see those signs and to step forward. Now, the stage has been set energetically for the performance of our lives, and the new show can begin. And when it comes to surrendering to living our most authentic and truest version and vision of ourselves, we need to listen. We need to be open to change, allowing ourselves to be led to take inspired action when nothing less than our destiny calls in order to experience miracles. Now, in order to take advantage of these new energies in 2020, which I'll be speaking about after the break, the Posse of Angels is imploring you, dare yourself in 2020. Now, the Posse of Angels is asking, have you given any thought as to what you intend for this new year? From a higher point of view, we can clearly see that we are powerful creators blessed with free will, and our effort along with spirit is to establish our intentions and to fuel them with our passion in order for the angels to do their part and to bring about the fulfillment of our wishes. But we are the fuel in that passion and the engine that is driving it. It's very true that all manifestation is a co-creative effort. Yet it's also true that all manifestation starts with our intention and our passion. And the Posse of Angels is reminding all of us that our vision now may be different from what we might have envisioned for our lives many years ago. And within that list of intentions for 2020, the Posse of Angels wishes to inquire, is there anywhere in that list that you have dared yourself? Okay. They wish to remind us that the dictionary definition of dare is to have the courage required to do something, to be challenged, to execute an act that takes nothing less than being bold and brave. Now, to dare could also mean to defy the conventional, established ways of doing things, or to have the nerve to try something different. The Posse of Angels is alluding as to whether you have the audacity to experience a magical, extraordinary life that is so large, that is so amazing, that you may even be a bit scared of it. Now, they don't want you to be afraid, but in order to grow, we have to step into the unknown, and this could certainly bring up a little bit of anxiety and trepidation in some. But in most cases, fear is our greatest indicator that we need to step forward, for the challenge will help the expansion and the growth of our soul. And that is ultimately what we're here for. Now, what the Posse of Angels are leading to is that they wish us to dare to imagine a new life, a different life that we never thought we could have. Now, don't get them wrong. This is not to say that there's something wrong with the life that you're choosing to co-create and live. But they want us to release all restrictions and expectations and have the utmost faith and trust in God and the angels to allow ourselves to be led and co-create the most unbelievable life, to be of best service for ourselves, for others, and for the planet. You know, everyone, the frustrating thing with most people is truly not that their dreams don't come true, but the life that they settle on is not representative of what their heart truly longs for. Many times this results from believing that they are not worthy, they're not deserving of having an extraordinary life, and they might say or feel, who am I to have amazing experiences? Many people do not allow themselves to let go of what is either a compromise or that which is just okay for them, to realize a larger than life. Some might even call it a miraculous life. And while this miraculous life is so different for each one of us, probably as different and unique as every being on the planet, the life that the Posse of Angels is speaking about can be defined in this way. The miraculous life that they speak about goes beyond prescribed limits of what is normal, what is accepted, as it has no boundaries, a life which is not restricted, let's say, to a person's age, one's gender, one's cultural background, one's financial circumstances, one's achievements, certifications, or held to any other restriction. Allow yourself to march fearlessly into the unknown, the unfamiliar, with just your faith in God and yourself. The faith and profound belief that not only will everything be okay, but it will yield experiences beyond your wildest dreams. Now, this kind of daring of oneself is certainly not for the faint-hearted, for it has us releasing and letting go of all that is comfortable and known. One of the major reasons that we feel uncomfortable with experiencing something new is that we've not given ourselves permission to leave our known world. In order to give ourselves permission to welcome in the unbelievable, we must choose to suspend our belief in what is possible. If you need some help in formulating the energies to conjure up just such a life, you may wish to say aloud the following statements. And when you say them, the Posse of Angels and I wish for you to suspend all doubt and all belief and voice them with 100% conviction. Okay, don't do this when you're driving, but find a quiet place. Take a couple of deep breaths in. Center on your heart and state aloud. In 2020, I give myself permission to feel uncomfortable so that I can experience the unforgettable, the memorable, the remarkable, and the exceptional. Let that settle in. Take another deep breath in and say, in 2020, I give myself permission to live a life in which what manifests to fill my heart's longings actually surprises me in ways that I never thought were possible. Let that settle in and take another deep breath and say, in 2020, I dare myself to live a life so miraculous that only the hand of God and the angels' intervention could have orchestrated the magical opportunities and connections that answer the fulfillment of my heartfelt longings and my dreams. By daring oneself in 2020 to go beyond anything that we have known before, we must desire to taste, to sense, to feel, to experience life to the fullest. And you know what? That scares the heck out of a lot of people. For if we truly wish for this, we must let go of attachment for all that we created. And you know what, everyone? To all we may get our identity from as to who we think we are. For quite frankly, if my identity is cemented to my accomplishments, my certifications, my titles, my achievements, then how can I possibly grow more, expand more, learn more, experience so much more of my infinite multidimensional self who is boundless and is merely unlimited potential? Once we do this, we open space for God to breathe unexpected miracles and surprises into our lives. Dare yourself to go with your heart. Dare yourself to have fun, to giggle, and to wiggle and play more. Now, I often have spoken about my wiggle within. Whenever the universe presents me with something in answer to my wishes, and I wiggle with excitement, even though I can't figure it out, I take inspired action towards it without hesitation, because I know that on the other side of that inspired action is always miracles and rewards. So it might be a great time in 2020 to create your own wiggle. Dare yourself to create for just creation's sake, because you are a powerful divine creator. One of the greatest secrets of life is that it is this playful, creative energy of unbridled fun and joy that speaks the same sparkly, bright, light, high-frequency language of the universe that sparks manifestation into physical form. Dare yourself to live in the present moment. Trust that God and the angels will always send you carefully created, chosen signs and messages to direct your life to be of best service for your soul. Not a life that your ego wants, not a life that follows the rules, and certainly not a life that you have to obsess over and try to figure out. Please remember, life was never meant to be figured out. It was meant to be experienced. Dare yourself to live a life of grace. To live in grace is to experience a reverence for life. It's to live in perpetual gratitude and unconditional love, being in harmony with yourself, because you are a reflection of God's source. To allow oneself to live in grace, one seeks integration of the mind and the body and the spirit with the way of nature. Grace is the spiritual freedom that occurs when one realizes that life is a gift, that everything comes from God's source. That's why you've been given an abundant nature. To change what one is experiencing and has been experiencing, one has to dare oneself to change their landscape by sailing into uncharted, unknown waters. The Posse of Angels and I wish to remind us that those of us who are awakened and living a conscious life, we are all tested sailors. Many of us have endured emotional pressures through things like divorces, financial instability, illnesses, death of loved ones. In fact, there's not one soul who has not experienced loss in their lives. With the light of the divine love radiating from our hearts, we have remained on an even keel after what may have been, for some, a very difficult lead up to 2020. And we have found a safe harbor and a peace within. Well, we hope you have. Having already cleared and cleansed our paths, having aligned ourselves with being of the highest service, and by actively co-creating with God's source, many of us have a deep knowing that everything is fine and all will be well, even though we may find ourselves in uncharted waters and in this in-between time at the beginning of this new year. And if this happens, we profoundly know that God and the angels will be the only compass we need on how to navigate. In this way, many of us will have aligned our will with the will of heaven. The Posse of Angels is reminding us that if your will is aligned with the will of heaven, and you have the diligence, the fortitude, and the belief to allow your will to manifest on the earth plane, you can accomplish anything. The trick is to forget measuring your willpower or success mainly on whether your expectation of your overly conceived ideas can be achieved. The Posse of Angels is reminding all of us to be open to fully receive the profound knowing that the events, the opportunities, and the connections that will manifest for us will clearly demonstrate what our life wants from us. Not what we want from life, but what our life wants from us. In 2020, allow yourself to be open to what life wants of you. Ask yourself, where do I dare to allow myself to fly in 2020? And when I went to my animal spirit cards and to receive some extra wisdom, the first card to fly in was Crow. I like that this card number is 17, as number 17 is one of my lucky numbers. It adds up to an 8 of wealth, riches, prosperity, and abundance. Crow has long been a symbol of magic and the ability to shift in between the etheric and the physical realms. Its energy opens us to access the supernatural, the gift of seeing the unseen and knowing the unknown. It is said that Crow holds in its mind's eye, the past, the present, and the future. Perhaps that's why Crows are cross-eyed. It's alerting us, especially now as we cross over into 2020, to be vigilant and alert to the magic that will be unfolding for us, and to allow ourselves to be in awe as we watch the wisdom of the universe work its magic to fulfill our long-held, passionate, heartfelt intentions and prayers. Crow reminds us that we are right on target to magically see our dreams manifesting. The laws of abundance, compensation, and praise are operating in our favor now. And I'll be speaking after the break about the Pluto-Saturn conjunct, which is amazing and coming up in the next few days. So I'd like to thank Mr. Crow for flying in. And the next card that came out along with Crow was Lion Spirit. And this is a number 1 card, and a number 1 card is new beginnings. It's all about leadership. But the lion is reminding us that we've been given a healthy ego to help us align with God's divine order rather than completely forcing our will. We've all been given the gift of pride, a healthy sense of self-worth to express our divine, authentic self in a special way. We each are king and queen over our domain, secure in our prosperity, that we've been gifted with an abundant nature. Take pride in your ability to serve from the heart. Yes, be proud, but also be humble. Practice gratitude, and you'll find that the praised rewards that come to you are truly no match for the joy of knowing what you've been able to do for others through expressing the bounty of generosity within you. As many of us will be stepping into 2020, you'll be stepping into leadership roles, and many will benefit as you work in partnership alongside with them and the wisdom of spirit. The courage and the bravery of lion that is available to us all is the spark of wisdom that resides within us. Give freely without agenda and expectation. Be generous, for the gift is in the giving, for in giving we receive. So thank you, Mr. Lion. You have been listening to me, Claire Candy Hough, on Angel Healing House Radio. When we get back, we're going to be taking those calls for that free angel advice. And we will see you right after this short break.
To see your life from an angel's perspective, book a personal consultation with Claire Candy Hough, angelic walk-in angel Ariel at Angel Healing House. Candy provides intuitive counseling, Reiki, and angel readings in person in Los Angeles or nationally and internationally via phone or Skype. She will channel the practical tools you need to transform your life. Call now 831-277-3716 or visit angelhealinghouse.com. Have you discovered the remarkable books at angelhealinghouse.com? Author Claire Candy Hough has channeled rare books of inspiration and insight.
Angels of Faith is an inspiring story of healing, comfort, and hope that reminds us that death is not to be feared, but embraced with joy.
One True Home, Behind the Veil of Forgetfulness, takes readers on a roller coaster ride through Angel Ariel's 5 most important lives on Earth, as well as her experiences in the afterlife, and helps us remember our own journey across the veil.
And Claire Candy's autobiography, I Am an Angelic Walk-In, which details the 2003 soul exchange that took place when Claire Candy walked out of her body and Angel Ariel walked in, creating heaven on earth for herself and others.
To find out more about these wonderful books, visit angelhealinghouse.com today.
Hello, everyone. You're back with me, Claire Candy Hough, on Angel Healing House Radio. I see that we have 2 callers on the line. One is from Kirkland, Washington. The other is from Vancouver, British Columbia. And if you'd like to call in for a free angel reading, do call in on 1-800-930-2819 to speak with myself and the Posse of Angels, my wonderful family. Before we get to those calls, I want to stress and emphasize these extraordinary, strong, cosmic energies that we are going through right now. They are leading us into this powerful month that will be deeply felt, and it focuses on our spiritual awakening. Now, as I mentioned before, these will set the stage not only for this year, but also for the entire decade to come. Be warned that the first few weeks of January may have us feeling restless, apprehensive, as we adapt to these influx of energies, but stay calm, as it's all for a good cause. As so much of our lives has changed and the new life may not have shown up, we are being pulled to our divine path and are aligning with where we need to be. Now, what is happening now is that no less than 3 planets are all starting afresh. They've completed cycles. One is Jupiter, the planet of good fortune, expansion, and luck. The other is Saturn. This is the planet. It's a hard taskmaster planet, but it's the planet of karma. And that karma, what I've called all along, karmic compensation, karmic retribution, that's starting again. And Pluto, which often alters everything in our life, it brings about revelation and revival. The combination of these aspects means major, major, major transformation. And it's happening right now. Now, on today, actually not today, in 2 days' time, on January the 10th, we will see a full moon shining in the sign of Cancer. There was no full moon in Cancer in 2019. So this one will be incredibly powerful as the universe showers us with much needed Cancerian energy. This full moon also brings with a potent lunar eclipse whose energy will increase those Cancerian traits of really feeling our emotions. Because the universe wishes for us to enter 2020 with a clean slate, so we can start anew and embrace all those things that are coming to us with open arms. It wants us to surrender and leave in the past all which is not meant to come into this new decade, because it doesn't serve us anymore. The much needed cancer traits will be strong release. So if you do feel this, give yourself time for self-care and be gentle with yourself. Now, if this doesn't pack enough punch in our lives energetically, the full moon in conjunction with a lunar eclipse opens a portal of energy that will bring events that are aligned with nothing less than your soul's destiny, allowing us to continue to move forward and accelerate our consciousness. There is a caution that these powerful energies may be jarring, so once again, self-care and gentleness is in order. And if this wasn't enough, on January 12th, we will experience that long-awaited Saturn and Pluto conjunction in the sign of Capricorn. The alignment of these two planets in Capricorn is something that no one alive has ever experienced and will experience again in their lifetime. The rarity of this conjunction makes it incredibly powerful and will serve to create a ripple of energy that will be felt this entire year and for times to come. This once-in-a-lifetime alignment carries with it transformative and life-changing energy that will be felt deeply as we awaken to our destiny. Remember to stay patient, as its effects will transform us in life-changing ways, and watch your divine truths unfold before you. Let's go to our first caller. We have Wendy on the line. Wendy, lovely to speak with you. It's Claire Candy Hough here.
Well, hi, Candy. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you. Lovely to hear your voice. How have you been?
I'm doing well. I think I'm very much in one of those in-between places, and everything you've been saying today resonates deeply.
Yes.
What I'm finding is I'm not attracting clients who are able to pay for my services. So it's just a very, very interesting time where I feel I can still serve very much in that area and love doing the work. But crazy things like, credit cards declined and people canceling and just very, very different.
Yes. And Wendy, the thing that I heard was join the club. because we have finished the first and the second part of our mission here as light workers, if you want to call us that, those conscious coming back to serve. Our first was to wake ourselves up and then set up those healing practices or those reading card services or whatever we did. And then those people flocked to us. And then in 2012, we were told to start creating the books, the radio programs, to take it out to a much wider audience. And now we've done such a good job that people can heal themselves. We've done such a good job that people don't need readers anymore. They are psychically awakened. Everyone's psychic. They are telepathically on point. And so we have done such a good job that we have done ourselves out of a job, if you want to look at it that way. But now what this actually does is it actually frees us up to go in the direction of our heart's longings. What is it? I know that we can still be of service, but what's going to be on offer of us? And that's why I channeled with my family, dare yourself. What would you like to do in 2020? Yes, you'll still serve people, but we serve ourselves by serving the divine inside of us first and then serving others. Because if we just give, then we will become empty vessels and our physical, mental, and emotional and spiritual bodies will wither because we will not be filling our own tank. So the Posse of Angels are saying to each one of us that are going through this, welcome to the club. welcome to the club because you've done such an extraordinary job. That's not to say you'll never have another client in your whole life. But to quote a very dear friend of mine who I write about in one of my books, is an international psychic. And when I asked him years ago, I said, "Why are my clients drying up?" He said, "Oh, they're just encouraging you to write books. You won't have you had such a huge clientele that if it kept going, you would never have had the time to write books." And I thought, yes, I said, that's true. So it's
and
actually
that's really what I'm feeling is it's time to write the next book. So that's really was my question. So that's a wonderful validation.
Yes, yes. And no, if you stay in that space, I've lived it. I've lived it. Every time I screamed for more clients, they showed me a cap and gown, and they handed me a diploma. They said, "That's nice. That's nice. Here, you've graduated from that one-on-one. Go write another book." I said, "But no. I said, "You don't understand. I have to eat and I have to put food on the table." And they laughed. I would hear them laughing and they'd go, "Ha ha, that's nice. Go write another book. Let us take care of your abundance. You will be abundantly looked after." And I can tell you, Wendy, I can tell you all listeners that I surrendered to God. I surrendered and said, if this is what I am meant to do, then I will do it willingly, passionately, and joyfully. And abundance found both Pete and myself in the weirdest ways. And we were compensated abundantly, not just through clients, but in all ways, shapes and forms, in order to sustain us so that we could do and co-create the works that we needed to bring out into the world. It's not for the faint-hearted, especially when I'm not saying you, but many people are still living in the age of Piscean age. I do, therefore I am, instead of that beingness and coming from your heart. So it's a really, really important time for each and every one of us to know that, I often said to my clients, Wendy, and many people and many other practitioners that are going through this, when I looked at the client, I said, the greatest thing you can do for me is after this session today is not come back. And they said, what? And I said, because the penny will have dropped, you will have shifted, and then by your shifting, then you will live that life of grace and then go on to help others to live a life of grace. And if we really meant for that person to keep coming back to us time and time again to just, just for finances, then we weren't really doing it coming from our hearts.
Right.
Keeping them, or wishing them to be not well on any level, for them to not be able to heal themselves and to be able to be psychically clear enough to live their lives. So let me go to the cards and see what comes out for our lovely Wendy. And not many people are speaking about this. I can tell you, because at one point it's scary. I mean, I was a practitioner for 16 years. That's a long time. That's a long time. When I walked in 2003, January, and then 4 or 5 months later, I had my master teacher degrees, and I opened up my business. And for that to just all fade away in order for what is coming in now. It's quite miraculous, actually. The first card that is coming out for you, I love it, is the Six of Pentacles. This is not only the giving, it's the receiving of money. And I just spoke about abundance as our nature, and you will be abundantly provided for. Now, another thing the Posse of Angels is reminding you, Wendy, me, and all of us, is that what is coming in for us may be something that we haven't done before, but we will have all the skills, the abilities, and the talents, and something built into our foundation that we have all the wherewithal to be able to do it. We might have to get up to speed in a while. It may be a little bit, maybe a little bit apprehensive, but we will certainly be able to do this. And it is pointing in the direction of our destiny. That's what we've been working towards for the last decade, some of us decades. So you will be abundantly provided for. There is your new start, my love. There is the Fool. Innocently, they want you to come to them as a child. Somebody in my posse just said the meek will inherit the earth. I think that's very funny. But this childlike nature, bless your healing practice, bless all the people, and also bless the decline of the cards. Bless those things, because if it's happening, it's just showing the direction to go in now. And the Fool is not naive, but the Fool knows that he is divinely and ordered. He's on the divine path, and he is allowing himself to be led by God. And the next card that is coming for you is, the two came out together. Actually, it's interesting. They stuck together. This one was the Knight of Wands, which is the movement and the travel card, making movement towards thinking of those things that you would love to do, and the Knight of Pentacles. And both of these are, the Knights are about action, but the Knight of Pentacles is the card of a slow movement, something that you love doing, something that you visualize yourself doing. Could be in an area of the world. I don't know why they're bringing up England. Could be in an area of the world that you haven't even considered before. Maybe going there for a while, maybe working overseas, on some sort of a visa, but they're saying this is a slow moving energy and this is a fast moving energy. But this is saying this isn't for the long term, but there has to be movement towards that which you will love doing. So I hope those messages have been helpful for you. I know it is difficult to let go of that which we have built up, but I said, if you want to listen to the channel again, we have to be willing to let go of all that we've gotten our identity from in order to step into our destiny. All that we thought that we were in order to become that which we are. So I hope that's been helpful.
That's very helpful. That's wonderful. Thank you so much, and thank the Posse of Angels, Candy. That's fabulous. I really, really appreciate it.
I love you. Take care. Have a beautiful day, Wendy.
I love you too. Bye-bye.
Bye. Oh my gosh, that just sent chills all up and down my body. We must be willing to let go of everything we think we are and where we get our identity from in order to step into who we are. Let's go to Steve from Vancouver, BC. Hi, Steve. How are you today?
Hey, Candy. Actually, I'm in Vancouver, Washington.
Oh, well, my producer put down BC, but I'll welcome you anyway. Nice to have you on board. How are things going in your life?
Pretty good. Back in 2000, I had a near-death experience.
Yes.
And I've been talking about this to people since I came up here to Washington State. Mm-hmm. And from 2000 to about 2010, I was primarily in a lot of healing, physically and emotionally and psychically, really. And finally, in 2010, I started having groups in my home and talking about what happened to me. And recently, this month, actually, I have a 2-hour event coming up We're going to be talking about that. And my goal, incredible may seem, I'm putting my faith in, the universe and all, and the money will be there and all. But my goal is that people really get the message for them.
Right.
Because for me, before my near-death experience, I was very angry, very tired, very crazy, very insane. And I came back to this earth, and I'm like going, yeah, wow, far out. So it's not that I'm lackadaisical. I'm more like kind of like you guys have surfers down there in California. I'm kind of like a spiritual surfer type thing.
A surfer dude.
Yeah, I'm kind of like going far out, another wave. Wow.
Radical, man.
And my question is not how many people are going to attend this event, but I hope that each of them are going to be blessed with the message that I share, and that they can go home with something that they can really use for their life.
What you can do, Steve, because this happened to me once, where somebody, in quotes, done me wrong, and where I could have had close to 100 people at an event, they turned the tables on me. They done me wrong. They didn't promote it, and I ended up having 6 people there. I asked the Posse of Angels if I should cancel. I was coming up from, this was in Santa Barbara. I was coming up from Los Angeles, so I had to bring all my stuff, and, now it's a 90-minute ride away, and they said, still go. Stay in your integrity and still go. Because those 6 people, whoever turns up, he who saves one person saves the whole world, or he that really affects, we can't save somebody else, but he that affects one person affects the whole world. So what you can do before the event, Steve, and I'm just getting shivers all over, is you can say, thank you for sending me the people who need this information the most, and it will be of greatest benefit to them. And let me look at the quality instead of the quantity, and know that if I am being divinely led, even if one person turns up, it could make a difference, because that person then could go on and affect millions of people. Now, the Posse of Angels are also saying, have you written the book?
It's funny they asked that question.
They want you to write the book.
Yeah.
Okay. And the book, by writing about your life previously, and don't skip over your childhood, don't skip over your anger, don't skip over your resentment and your regret and your bitterness. Put all of that in the book, and then what happened as a result of the near-death experience and how you changed profoundly. This is going to help so many people. And in the energy of writing the book, you are then, I don't know if you're on social media.
I'm actually one of your Facebook friends.
Okay, good. Okay. What they're saying would be of greatest benefit is tell everyone that you've been led by Spirit to write this book about your experiences, and just give them snippets here and there. That's what happened when I wrote my book, I Am an Angelic Walk-In, which is, about my walk-in experience, and the difference between the former soul's life and my life of peace and grace and ease and reverence now. And the disparity is huge. But this will be the same with you. And I don't know if you've ever seen my posse of angels, my angelic family, love the movie The Field of Dreams. They're saying if everyone on earth would watch that, their life would be so much easier and graceful. Build it, write it, and they will come. That's what they're saying.
Yeah.
Write the book, sweetheart. And this energy is going to change. It's going to be life changes. It's going to be trans. Never doubt yourself. And the work that you do, please don't compare it with, large groups of people or whoever is going to be there. Actually, you can visualize and you can say, thank you. Thank you for the people who are going to benefit the most from this showing up, and it will be in divine order. Let's go to the cards and see what comes out. This is wonderful, wonderful. And when you do write the book, please send me an email to candy@angelhealinghouse.com, because I would like to tell everybody about it. The first card you get is the wish card. There's only one wish card out of the whole deck. This is your wishes coming true. This is your wishes coming true. You needed to have this near-death experience, not only to help you out of that life of anger and resentment and sadness and profound, deep sadness that you had before, but now the change in order for that wish, in order to co-create with Spirit this extraordinary book that you're going to be writing that's going to be affecting a lot of people. And the next card that's coming out for you is the Sun card. The book will illuminate your life like really nothing else that you could do before. And remember, please, Steve, abundance is your nature. And funny, I just said the word abundance, and the Ace of Pentacles come out. The book is like a hand of God handing you this book in answer to your prayers. And as you are writing it, then you are confirming to the universe that you are rich and you are prosperous. And then abundance will come in all forms. So I hope that has been helpful for you.
It most definitely has, Candy. Thank you.
You're very welcome. God bless you. And I can't wait to receive news about how the book is going.
All right. Thank you very much. You have a good day.
Take care. Bye-bye. And that just about wraps up our show today. Thank you to my lovely callers. Thank you to everyone listening around the globe. Thank you for recommending and referring the show. Remember, Angel Healing House Radio airs every week at 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. And do remember my books. My books are One True Home, I Am an Angelic Walk-In, and Angels of Faith. They all can be purchased on my website, which is angelhealinghouse.com, and also on Amazon. Oh, and 2 of the books are on audible.com if you like to listen, download, purchase, and listen books on audio, listen to audio books. Remember, everyone, please go out and fashion an absolutely beautiful life for yourself. I'm wishing you love and, of course, angel blessings. And I do look so forward to speaking with you again next week. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.